Okay, so today what I'm going to be showcasing to you is the ultimate gun. Now, what is the ultimate gun? Well, the ultimate gun in this configuration of fittings cannot be had anywhere else in the world. Now, when we were designing a gun, we looked at many metrics, if I'm honest. Had to be look, had to be feel, it had to be quality. All those three things together sometimes are extremely hard to get by. Now, this fantastic piece of unbelievable engineering is a four-country collaboration. Now, Switzerland, the US, Italy, and of course us, the four countries. Now, we all knocked heads together. We all had to obviously say, look, do you want to be a part of this? Now, the gun itself, the SDS-28 originally was made exclusively for the US market. Now, what we did is our friends at MTM USA, Velocity Performance, we first approached, long time ago, Rob Bridgeford, if you watch this, Derek Maxton. We approached those two guys originally, who are still very, very good friends of ours, and we said, look guys, we want to import this gun in, but we want to, first of all, we want to rip out the traditional faceplates. We want to say, look, it is our gun, because what we're going to do into the next stage is going to be something that no one else has done before. So we have the SGS-28 body, faceplates ripped out. You've got obviously our beautiful YumCars special gold raw faceplate in. We then made sure that it was all okay with Italy. We then went to Mosmatic, so Arthur and Dominic, again, our very good friends out of Switzerland. We said, right guys, we need to make a gun that has got absolutely no compromise in terms of the fittings. So what can we do about this? They said, okay, we can do this. So on my specific fitment, because as you could see, I am utilizing a full quick release system, we've got the, on the inlet, we've got the 3/8 plug, and then on the outlet, we've got the 1/4-inch coupler. Now, these two fittings, in the grade of steel that they are made of, in the grade of stainless steel that they're made of, these fittings are the Bugatti of fittings. I say this to everybody all the time. Now, yes, they cost a little bit more than everything else in the world, but there's a reason for that. The engagement level in between the coupling system, the plug system, there's just nothing. I mean, just listen to it. It sounds like a Glock being cocked. Now, I know that sounds all too well. So, what we've done is we've, as I said, it's look, feel, quality. Now, although the guns on the market, they're bulky, they're thick, they don't fit too well into your hands. Now with this, it's got a lovely jagged design. It's thinner, it's slightly lighter. Now the trigger on this it's a pinky job trigger, as I say. It almost feels broken. And then to complement all of that again, you've got the very best stainless steel that is probably ever going to be made on the market. Nobody is ever going to beat these fittings. And if these fittings do get beat, it is going to be beat by Mosmatic themselves again for the V2 and the V3. Now the whole package itself, it's very light. It's very nice to use. Now the beauty of it is because I know a lot of people seem to misunderstand pressure washing, and they listen to some people who unfortunately haven't got a clue what they're talking about. Now, we get calls about this, I mean, daily, 50, 75 calls a day, and they're talking about pressure washing, and I hear some of the stories, and I'm like, who has advised you to do this? Now, your goal, I'm going to say this in layman's terms, your goal in whichever entry point you're in, whether it be entry level, you know, intermediate, medium level, or kind of the ultimate level, but the first two are the most important, because once you start getting to this system, it's obviously easy. If you've got, say, Karchers, Nilfisk, all that type of stuff, you want to bypass the horrific Karcher hose, Nilfisk hose, Ava hose, all of these kind of Chinese-made hoses, because what they do is they use proprietary fittings, which is very, very important. Every second or third model of, let's say, Karcher, so Karcher K4, if you look at the actual reference numbers, they're always different on the models. K4 point something, K4 point something, and they keep changing it. It's like a cat and mouse game. So what you want to do, if this was a Karcher hose, you get a Karcher Spec ultimate gun from us. Imagine Karcher hose. Now, you've bypassed, all of a sudden now, you have bypassed the proprietary fittings of Karcher, and all of a sudden you have the most universally known and accepted fitting on the planet, which is here. This is the 1/4 inch. Now, if you, again, I know you can't see all the fittings here, but all of the fittings on the top end are 1/4 inch. So for example, you're like, oh, I want to wash the car at a distance. I want to do a bit of archwork. Boom. Oh, I want to do a shotgun setup. Not a problem. I want to look fancy on Instagram. Boom. Foam cannons, floor cleaners, undercarriage cleaners, window cleaners, body cleaners, everything at the top end of the scale from all the best manufacturers in the world and from the best people in the world is all a 1/4 inch. If somebody starts selling you couplers here and plugs there, honestly, run away, because they haven't got a clue what they're talking about. They're only selling it to you because that's the only thing they can kind of get a hold of. And the most important thing, these people, who unfortunately shouldn't exist, what they're trying to do is they're trying to sell you a system that will only be used with their systems. So when, I mean, and I know this because I get calls all the time, and on the inlets, on the outlets, I have seen some weird configurations. And I think why, and I've made this assumption now over many years of experience of they only want you to use their system. So you buy everything from them, you think, you know what, I want to actually venture into the really, really nice stuff. You ring me up, for example, and I say, oh, I can't help you because like the gun has been hacked to bits, the pressure washer has been hacked to bits, whereas with our system, the most important thing, imagine you buy this gun, right? And you say, you know what, I want to use a different foam cannon, or I want to use a different lance, turbo nozzle, whatever. Great, my answer is to you, get one that is universally accepted, 1/4 inch, so the top 5% of the industry is universally accepted. Go and buy that A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? Not a problem, because this is obviously in the intermediate level, this is the bypass between everything else. Now, this gun is accepted in obviously the full Mosmatic system, which you see here. So it's got stainless on both parts of the gun. But if you do have a Karcher K series, if you've got a Nilfisk, if you've got an Ava, which is those 3 machines probably make up around 90% of the industry, both in the US and Europe. Now, if you've got any of those 3, or you have a Krenzler, which is, of course, not a problem. This is my baby. If you've got any of those kind of configurations and others, which again, a lot of machines are rebranded and Nilfisk connections, please get this, transfer the horrific hoses, and you will literally fall in love with this gun, with this accessory. I mean, this gun for me is now, what, 2.5, 3 years old? It's still looking like new. You look after your kid, it looks after you. Now, if you've got Krenzler systems, again, I can help you with that, because we can start doing the intermediate plus the advanced level systems. This is getting launched soon anyway. I mean, this is a whole different beast altogether. But if you've just got a Krenzler system and you want to use, say, a really nice hose like the KobraJet, smooth jacket, non-smooth jacket, very easy. We can set you up with, again, a very, very industry recognized and standard setup, which is what I use because it's easy. There's no bulk on the end of the gun. It's nothing. Now, I'm going to take you outside now, and I'm going to just show you just how easy it is to kind of spray, interchange the nozzles, and do all the things that we normally do chasing our passion washing cars. All right, my little brothers and sisters, here we go. So again, as you can see, it's got one of the best swivel actions in the world. So that basically means if your hose does kink, if you've got, you know, a cheaper alternative to a hose, and you're under pressure especially, I'll show you here. See? It's a full swivel system, which means whether you're off pressure, on pressure, it's going to swivel. One bonus. Now the second bonus is again, like I said, quick release is not a new thing, right? So you got to bear that in mind. But then there are quick release and then there's quick release. This is the much further of the latter. The engagement, so everything here, as I said, is the highest grade stainless steel that money ever can buy, maybe times 17, okay? So every time you put it in, you don't need to snap the collar forward. There's no rusting, there's no jagged, you know, and tacky feel. So again, rinse. You're like, oh, I want a snow foam. Oh, in this case, apply wheel foam. Fantastic. Super quick engagement. You take it off. Oh, I want to rinse, let's say, the car down the arches. Oh, great. You put this back on. Imagine turbo nozzle, any other kind of tip system. Easy. Again, if you want to rinse your brushes out under a little bit more water, there we go. So, as you can see, everything is super quick interchange, but the main thing is the engagement and the sound. It sounds beautiful. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I've showcased to you what, again, I believe is, you know, quite easily one of the best guns on the market. It's one of these things that when you start investing in hardware, it seems at first that the outlay is a little bit larger than usual. However, with hardware, there's no expiry date. So unless you start smashing it on the floor, walking over it, or dragging your hose back with a gun, if you don't do any of those things and you're a little bit like me, who's a discerning car owner, then this will last you a lifetime. Like I said, this is 2.5, 3 years in and it's still looking better than new. So I hope you found this video useful. If you've got any questions on specs, fitments, please drop me an email, message, whichever way your point of contact's easier. And if you do buy one of these, or if you already have one from us, thank you very much, and I will see you all guys soon. Cheers.